finger paints, soccer practice, and unmade beds. They're making it up as they go and rediscovering how to be a family, one adventure at a time. Part 1. I Will Do This. Chapter 1. When the worst thing you feared has happened to you, you can fool yourself into thinking you're out of the woods for any other tragic loss. You can tell yourself you've done your time. You went through hell and survived, and lightning surely won't strike the same family twice. This little white lie can help you to begin to live again. This invincibility can give you the courage to do small things, like step out of your home, or go to the grocery store, or sleep at night. You might even begin to lean on this sense of security and start to try bigger things, like driving to a new city, or taking your children on a hike in the mountains. Sometimes the facade of safety is the biggest risk of all. We live in Colorado, where the options for hikes and bike rides and day trips are endless. I mean, really, it begins to feel like poor stewardship if you don't get out there and do stuff. I feel as if I shouldn't even get to live here if I'm not going to enjoy the sunshine and the thin air, as if someone might revoke my citizenship if I don't show any appreciation for this recreation mecca. With all of this in mind, I decided to prove my courage, independence, and worth in Colorado by taking my boys on a hike. I chose an easy hike, not a big deal hike, and certainly nothing that required equipment of any kind. In a book about hikes where they rate them from easy to hard with 1 to 4 stars, this route would get a half star. Rather than choosing to climb a mountain, I chose a path that would take us down through a craggy ravine right on the edge of a golf course. I took my phone and some sunscreen, and we set out to make a memory. The experts on young men say that boys need a beauty to win and a battle to fight, and I assure you that taking their mom into the wilderness fit the bill on many levels. My guys felt and acted like the fearless duo of Indiana Jones and Buzz Lightyear. In their surge of masculine confidence, they asked if they could hike on their own for just a little while, for just a little way. Remember that sense of invincibility? It's not always your friend. For example, in this moment, it would have been smart to say, I love this great idea, guys, and while I totally believe in you and applaud your crazy courage, I'll go ahead and stay with you everywhere we go today. But I didn't say that, because I was riding the wave of invincibility. Together we chose a picnic table where I would sit and wait for them. I always have a book with me and zero qualms about having a few more minutes to read. I promised not to move so they could be sure to find me again, and they promised to stay together so I could be sure this wasn't the worst idea ever. See, while the downside of having boys less than 2 years apart is the fact that they each have a built-in accomplice to break any rule, the upside is that they also have a built-in bodyguard and teammate for any adventure. I could send them off together with the knowledge that one would truly lay down his life for the other, or at least lay some serious threats against anyone or anything that threatened to come between the two brothers. So, you can imagine my alarm when Tucker, the oldest at age 9, came back by himself. This was not the agreement. Tucker didn't speak at all until he was 3 years old, and he and I worked long and hard in those early years to find his voice and vocabulary. So, in the face of a trauma, the first thing that goes are his words. It's as though an emergency raises the drawbridge between his brain and his mouth. While he is keenly aware of everything happening around him, he is frozen in speechlessness. He cannot tell his side of the story. This is particularly problematic when he is involved in any kind of altercation with a child in the neighborhood or on the playground. When a teacher questions the boys on what happened, there stands my silent child, who is strong and smart, a gentle giant just like his dad, without words to explain why he pushed a bully. On that warm afternoon on the craggy cliff, he stood before me with his pleading eyes, and all he could offer for explanation was his brother's name. Tyler, Tyler, Mommy, Tyler. Even though I knew he didn't have the words, and even though I knew he was saying everything he